Hey everybody, it's Jeff back with another video, and in this video I want to discuss how to price monster tone coins. And the reason I bring this up because this really is my specialty in terms of this is all I collect. I follow every single auction that ends that really, of course, it's subjective, but in my opinion is absolute monster tone coins, things that stand out almost as truly unique. And there's a few factors that go into it, and I'm going to walk through it. And the reason I bring it up is because I saw this coin come up for sale at a dealer website that, in my opinion, he was asking too much. So I'm going to go through kind of my logic when it comes to pricing these coins. And a few things come into play. One, pricing guides, the gray sheet is completely worthless. PCGS price guide has some impact in terms of how many multiples of the PCGS price guide can it sell for. I have noticed that over monster tone coins, they range anywhere from 1.5 up to maybe 10 or even 15 times the PCGS price guide. When the PCGS price guide is a bigger number, such as $5,000, $10,000, it has a hard time, of course, trading multiples greater than 10. Occasionally, you'll see a coin that has a PCGS price guide of $50 that'll trade for 1,000. Of course, that's a 20x multiple. So it kind of ranges, but this particular price guide for the coin that we see here is 1,050, and it's a fairly common coin. The 58D, and this is the next kind of factor that really comes into play, is how common is this kind of toning on that particular series. The 58D really got min set toning, so it's not uncommon to see Franklin halves with really nice rainbow-like toning, specifically the 58D. It's interesting, you look at 58s from Philly, which were in the exact same mint set, and they don't get this kind of rainbow blues, oranges, magentas, and greens, and just stunning rainbow-like colors on it. They tend to be more dark bluish kind of toning on the 58 Phillies. So right away, the 58 Denver is at least a little more common, which kind of knocks it down a little bit in terms of what this particular coin is worth. And then the next is it a single side monster or is it a dual side monster tone coin? For example, our first comparison is a dual side monster tone coin, which is even more rare. As you can see, this one is an absolute monster, also a 58 Denver, but this is a 67 plus with a full bell, as opposed to the one we were looking at before with just 67 full bell line. So this is technically a top pop, even though there are 16 in the grade. But in my opinion, this is probably the single nicest 58 Denver full bell line, really probably the nicest Franklin in the 58 Denver year, and maybe even the nicest overall, although there's one I'm going to show you next that sold for substantially more. This coin sold for $32,900, which, as you can see, is 6x the PCGS price guide, which right away tells you that our main focus coin, the first slide, should not be worth more than 6x the PCGS price guide. If anything, it should be worth a fraction of that, simply because it's got a monster tone on just the one side where this has double. The next, and this coin holds the record for the highest Franklin sale in history, and probably will forever hold that record. It actually is up for sale at Larry Shapiro Rare Coins, if anybody's interested. But as you can see, this one is really unique, and this is a 58 Philly, which, as I mentioned earlier, is very uncommon to see nice toning. So right away, that sets this in a rare element of its own because of the rarity within that year and mint mark. So the registry set buyers who are looking for super rare or super toned coins don't have a lot of other choices. This particular coin sold for $129,000. It sold about a year and a half, 2 years ago, which, as you can see, is 10x the PCGS value. Now, the reverse of this coin is extremely nice, but it's not necessarily worthy of the monster tone coin or monster tone name. It's certainly the obverse of the coin is really quite stunning. I think this was probably an aberration. I don't think it should have been worth 10x. But if you're interested in this coin, it is currently for sale for the small price of $125,000 on Larry Shapiro Rare Coins. So right away, he's telling you that he'd be happy to take $5,000 less than the person who bought this coin. And this is probably the most interesting because this is the most identical comparison. This is not the same coin as the first image that you saw. This coin is different in the sense that it's a different coin, but has a very similar looking toning. And actually, the obverse of this coin is a little bit nicer in that it doesn't have kind of the dark spotty toning. This one ended up selling for just $1,200. Kudos to the buyer. Now, this is back in 2017 when the rare coin market was a little bit softer. Man, what a deal. I would happily buy this coin for 3,500 if I had the money available from whoever bought this coin. This should be worth at least 3 to 3.5 times PCGS value, in my opinion. They got one hell of a deal and an absolutely stunning coin, as you could see here. So, what is it worth? As we've gone through the comparisons, no matter what, a coin that is this nicely toned is going to be worth more than PCGS price guide. You'd be darn lucky to get it for the price guide value or even less. How much more, in my opinion? I think it's worth about 3.5 times the PCGS value, or about $3,600. As I said, this is not nearly as nice as the one I just showed you, but that, of course, is not for sale. This one is. But Larry Shapiro has it for $6,000. So hopefully, for his sake, he could sell it. I certainly wouldn't pay that price, but I wanted to help you guys kind of understand how I walk through pricing monster tone coins. Thanks for watching. Take care.